The November rain pattered against the windows of Le Blanc, one of Manhattan's most exclusive restaurants. Maya Johnson adjusted her crisp white shirt and straightened her black tie, scanning the Friday evening crowd. After 3 years working here, she could read the room like a book. Business deals closing at corner tables, awkward first dates by the windows, regulars who expected their specific tables. Table 9 needs water, she reminded herself, moving through the dimly lit restaurant with practiced grace. At 28, Maya had mastered the art of being present yet invisible, anticipating needs before they arose, delivering service that felt personal yet unobtrusive. It wasn't her dream job, but it paid the bills while she saved for culinary school. Maya! Greg Marshall, the restaurant manager, snapped his fingers near her face. I need you sharp tonight. The Hendersons are celebrating their anniversary at table 12, and they tip like royalty. She nodded, suppressing her irritation at his condescending tone. I've already arranged for the champagne to arrive after their appetizers, and the kitchen knows to add the anniversary decoration to their dessert. Greg's perpetually furrowed brow softened slightly. Good. And remember, no comps tonight. Mr. Whitmore's watching the numbers like a hawk. Maya glanced toward the owner's table, where Richard Whitmore was entertaining business associates. Since taking over the restaurant last year, he'd slashed staff benefits while raising menu prices. The pressure to upsell had intensified, making the once pleasant work environment increasingly toxic. The hostess's voice crackled over Maya's earpiece. Maya, I've seated a gentleman at table 14. Priority service requested. Maya frowned. Table 14 was in her section, but was currently blocked by a large party at table 15. She'd have to squeeze through a narrow passage to reach it. Why would Kelsey seat someone there? As she approached, her heart skipped a beat. Though he wore a simple black baseball cap pulled low and no entourage surrounded him, she instantly recognized Denzel Washington. The actor sat with his back to the wall, clearly hoping to enjoy a quiet dinner away from public attention. Maya composed herself, approaching with professional calm. Good evening, sir. Welcome to Le Blanc. May I offer you something to drink while you look over the menu? His warm eyes met hers with a grateful smile. Just sparkling water for now, thank you. His voice was quiet, but carried the same resonant quality that had filled movie theaters for decades. Of course, our specials tonight include a pan-seared Chilean sea bass with a lemon beurre blanc and... Maya! Greg appeared suddenly, his eyes widening as he recognized Mr. Washington. He immediately switched to his obsequious voice. I'll take over here. That's not necessary, Maya said quietly. I've already started helping this gentleman. Greg pulled her aside, speaking through clenched teeth. Do you know who that is? This is a major opportunity for the restaurant. Yes, and he clearly wants privacy, Maya whispered back, noting how Mr. Washington had shifted uncomfortably as several diners at nearby tables began to stare. I'm moving him to the center table, Greg declared, and I'm handling it myself. Maya's chest tightened. The center table was directly under the chandelier, perfectly positioned for everyone in the restaurant to gawk. Greg, that's not what he wants. Last I checked, I'm the manager, not you, he hissed. Now step aside. Maya watched Greg approach Mr. Washington with an exaggerated smile. Mr. Washington, what an honor. We'd like to offer you our best table in the house. Much more comfortable than this tucked-away corner. The actor shifted, clearly uncomfortable. I'm fine here, thank you. I insist. It's no trouble at all. Maya saw the resignation on Mr. Washington's face, the look of someone accustomed to having their privacy invaded despite their wishes. Before she could reconsider, she stepped forward. Actually, sir, she addressed Mr. Washington directly, we have a private alcove that just became available. It offers the same menu but with more privacy. Would you prefer that? The relief in his eyes was immediate. That would be perfect. Greg's face flushed crimson. "There is no available alcove. The one by the kitchen," Maya said firmly. "It's reserved for staff meals, but it's quite comfortable and private. That area is not for customers." Greg's voice rose slightly. Maya held her ground. "Mr. Whitmore approved its use for VIP guests last month. It wasn't entirely a lie. The owner had mentioned the possibility, but never finalized the policy." Greg plastered on a stiff smile for Mr. Washington's benefit. "Could you excuse us for just one moment, sir?" He gripped Maya's arm, pulling her toward the service corridor. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" he demanded once they were out of earshot. "That man is a two-time Oscar winner. Do you know what kind of publicity that could bring if people see him dining center stage?" "He doesn't want to be center stage," Maya countered. "He came here for a quiet dinner, not to be a marketing tool. That's not your call to make. I've been trying to get celebrities in here for months. This could be featured in page 6 tomorrow." Maya stood her ground. And then no celebrity would ever come back, knowing they'll be put on display. Greg's eyes narrowed. "Set up the staff alcove. But this conversation isn't over." Maya quickly prepared the small room where staff sometimes ate during breaks. It wasn't fancy, but it was clean and private, with a small window overlooking a quiet courtyard. She added a tablecloth, proper settings, and a small vase with a single flower. When she escorted Mr. Washington to the space, his gratitude was palpable. "Thank you," he said quietly. "You have no idea how rare this kind of consideration is." "It's no problem at all, sir. Everyone deserves to enjoy their meal in peace." Throughout the evening, Maya provided attentive but unobtrusive service. They spoke little, but each interaction was marked by mutual respect. When he ordered the sea base, she suggested a perfect wine pairing. When he mentioned enjoying the restaurant's bread, she brought a fresh basket without being asked. As Mr. Washington finished his meal, he looked at her with genuine appreciation. "In my line of work, people often see the persona, not the person. Thank you for seeing the person tonight." Maya smiled. "That's always my goal with every guest, sir." After he left, slipping out through the kitchen to avoid attention, Maya returned to her regular section, feeling satisfied with how she'd handled the situation. That satisfaction evaporated when Greg cornered her at the service station, Mr. Whitmore looming behind him. "Explain yourself," the owner demanded without preamble. Maya straightened her shoulders. "A guest requested privacy, and I accommodated that request." "That guest was Denzel Washington," Greg interjected. "Do you have any idea what kind of publicity we missed out on?" "I was respecting his wishes," Maya replied. "He specifically didn't want attention." Mr. Whitmore's cold eyes bored into her. "That wasn't your decision to make. This restaurant needs exposure, and you deliberately sabotaged that opportunity." "Sir, you used the staff area without authorization, contradicted your manager in front of a customer, and cost this restaurant valuable publicity," he continued. "That's grounds for immediate termination." The words hit Maya like a physical blow. "Termination? Clean out your locker and return your uniform by tomorrow. Your final check will be mailed." Greg smirked slightly. "I told you this conversation wasn't over." Maya stood frozen as reality sank in. 3 years of service, hundreds of perfect reviews from customers, never once late. None of it mattered. "But I have rent due next week," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I'm already behind on payments." "You should have thought about that before undermining management," Mr. Whitmore replied dismissively. "Greg, escort her out." As Greg led her through the dining room toward the staff exit, Maya felt the eyes of her co-workers and customers following her. Whispers rippled across the restaurant. The public humiliation stung worse than the firing itself. Outside, the November rain had turned to a steady downpour. Maya stood under the small awning, her uniform becoming spotted with raindrops as she fumbled for her Metro card. Good luck finding another position without a reference, Greg called after her, the door closing on his smug expression. Maya walked through the rain to the subway, tears mixing with raindrops on her face, the question echoing in her mind. When did doing the right thing become the wrong move? Maya wakes in her small Harlem apartment, the reality of her firing sinking in. With only $237 in her account and rent due in 5 days, she immediately begins job hunting on her laptop. Unable to stay in her cramped apartment, she takes her laptop to the Daily Grind, a neighborhood cafe where she orders just regular coffee instead of her usual. Need to watch the budget, she tells Jerome, the barista. After hours of sending job applications, Maya receives a mysterious call from Rachel Williams of Urban Plate Consultants, inviting her to discuss a management position at a new restaurant. Confused but desperate, Maya agrees to the 2 p.m. meeting. She arrives at 1420 Madison Avenue, a building under renovation with a sign reading, "Coming soon, Dignity, Fine Modern American Cuisine." Rachel leads her through the construction site into a temporary office, where Maya is shocked to find Denzel Washington waiting for her. "What happened to you last night was unacceptable," he tells her, explaining that his assistant overheard her firing. He reveals he's the primary investor in this new restaurant, which emphasizes ethical practices and respect. "What you did last night, choosing someone's dignity over your own job security, that's rare," he tells Maya before offering her the position of floor manager, starting at $75,000 with benefits, more than double her previous salary. When Maya expresses doubt about her management experience, Washington responds, "This isn't charity or pity. This is recognition of character and capability. What you showed last night was exactly what we want dignity to represent." After reviewing details with Rachel, Maya heads home, still processing this life-changing opportunity. On the subway, she finally answers her worried mother's call. "Actually, Mom, I'm better than okay. You won't believe what happened today." 6 months later, Maya stands in Dignity's sunlit dining room before the evening rush, savoring the quiet. The restaurant, now flourishing under her management, embodies everything LeBlanc wasn't. Genuine respect for every person who walks through its doors. "Earth to Maya," calls Aisha, her former co-worker whom she'd rescued from LeBlanc. Pinot's missing again from the delivery. They discuss the evening preparations with an easy familiarity developed over months of working together. Maya glances toward the kitchen where Marcus, their head chef, another soul saved from a toxic workplace, meticulously plates tonight's special. A text from Rachel makes Maya's heart quicken. "Investor visiting tonight. Table 9 at 8. Mr. Washington rarely visits, maintaining his anonymous status, but his appearances always remind Maya how dramatically life can change. While reviewing reservations, a familiar name appears. Whitmore, her former boss, the man who fired her in the rain, is coming tonight. Her stomach knots with anxiety, but Maya takes a deep breath. Dignity isn't just for guests who deserve it, she reminds herself. It's for everyone. When Whitmore arrives with his wife, Maya seats them at one of their best tables. Not because he deserves special treatment, but because she refuses to stoop to his level. His face freezes in shock when he recognizes her. "Good evening, Mr. Whitmore," Maya says, her voice steady and professional. "Welcome to Dignity. I'm Maya Johnson, the floor manager." When his wife asks if they know each other, Maya can't resist a small moment of satisfaction. "Until your husband decided that respecting a guest's privacy wasn't as important as using them for publicity. But that worked out wonderfully for me, as you can see." At 8 o'clock, Mr. Washington arrives. As Maya serves his preferred bourbon, she mentions Whitmore's presence. Washington smiles. "Sometimes the best revenge is success." "It's more than that," Maya replies thoughtfully. "It's validation that empathy can be good business. Every person we hire, every guest we serve, they all want the same thing, to be seen as human beings, not just wallets or labor." He studies her with warm appreciation. When we first discussed this position, I thought I was offering you an opportunity. Now I'm thinking you were the missing piece we needed all along. When Whitmore and his wife prepare to leave, Maya approaches their table. Surprisingly, Mrs. Whitmore gushes about their experience, adding that service at Le Blanc has declined significantly. Whitmore reluctantly admits, "Your staff seems unusually content. They're treated with respect," Maya replies simply. "It makes all the difference." Near closing time, Kelsey, the former Le Blanc hostess, arrives in tears, still wearing her uniform. Greg fired her tonight for seating guests at a quiet table instead of pushing them toward expensive bar drinks. Maya feels a rush of déjà vu as Kelsey breaks down. "I don't know what I'm going to do. My roommate's moving out, and I can't afford rent alone." Without hesitation, Maya offers her a position as reservations manager. The hope that sparks in Kelsey's eyes reminds Maya of her own emotions 6 months ago. After Kelsey leaves, Washington, having overheard, asks, "Another rescue? Another investment?" Maya corrects him. "The best restaurants are built on people who understand the value of dignity, often because they've experienced the alternative." He nods thoughtfully. "When I first backed this venture, I thought we were creating a restaurant. But I'm starting to think we're building something more significant." "What's that?" "A case study in empathy economics," he replies with a smile. "The idea that treating people well isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do." As Maya locks up for the night, she passes the framed quote she selected during construction. "The ultimate dignity is in making others feel worthy of respect." Her phone buzzes, a text from her mother. "Don't forget, culinary school application deadline is next week." Maya smiles. With Dignity's tuition assistance program, her own initiative, she'll finally pursue that dream without abandoning the restaurant family she's built. Under the Manhattan sky, Maya reflects on how a single act of empathy created a ripple effect touching countless lives. Sometimes doing the right thing comes with a cost, but sometimes, if you're very lucky, it brings a return on investment beyond anything you could imagine.